Okay, so today we are just going to continue doing what we did before where we're solving equations. And the rules are going to stay the same. We're going to have to cross the line, change the sign. But they're going to get more difficult, and we're actually going to have to use some new rules here, or actually use our same rules and use our prior thinking to get this done and actually solve it. So let's look at this first problem. Again, we've got an equal sign. And so I'm going to draw a line down through here just to help me remember that both sides of this equation are the exact same. They're completely balanced. They have the same value. So as I'm looking at this, I've seen something just like this on the left. We've seen that before. We know how to simplify that. Let's just combine our like terms. So I've got a positive 3x and a positive 6x. That's going to be a 9x plus 7 is equal to 25. Well, that doesn't seem so hard, right? We can do this. Cross the line, change the sign. We got to get rid of that plus 7. So the opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. So let's cross the line, change it to a minus 7, subtract it over. We're going to get 9x equals 25 minus 7. That's 18. And one last step. I need to divide the 9 to the other side because that's 9 times x. So divide it over. And I ran out of space. I'll write it out here to the side. But on the left, all I have is the x, and on the right, 18 divided by 9, that's just going to be 2. So we have x equals 2. All right, that wasn't too bad. Let's look at the next one. Once again, I'm going to draw my line down through to perfectly balanced sides of this equation. On the left, I see this is the distributive property. So let's go ahead and simplify this first. 6 times 3x is going to be 18x, and 6 times negative 4 is going to be negative 24. Okay, that's good. No problems there. And on the right side, we've got 12. Okay, well, let's take this 24. Let's bring it over to the other side, cross the line, change it to a positive 24. So we've got 18x equals, it's going to be 36. And only one more step. That's 18 times x. So let's just divide the 18 over. And it looks like this one also is going to be 2. So the moral of the story is that every equation today, the answer is going to be 2. I'm just kidding. It just kind of worked out that way. Let's look at number 27. Now, 27 looks pretty difficult, but it's really not going to be that bad. All we have to know is what we need to move first. And the first thing we need to move is this 2. All right? That x is kind of locked up on the top of a fraction, and we can't do anything with it until we get rid of that fraction. So let's move that 2 first. And a fraction, remember, is divide. That means divide by 2. So let's just take that 2, cross the line, change that divide to a multiply. So let's multiply that 2 to the other side. 2 times 27 is going to be 54. And on the right, all we have left is x minus 5. Well, this looks pretty easy. All I need to do is get rid of that minus 5. So let's just add that 5 over. Cross the line, change it to a plus 5. X is equal to 59. No sweat. Let's do some more of these. So this top equation, again, 2 perfectly balanced sides. The top equation, distributive property, I see that all day long. 3 times 2x, 6x. 3 times 4 is going to be 12. And then we have minus 5x equals 23. Okay, let's simplify the left side because I see some x's that we can combine. Combine like terms 6x minus 5x. Well, that's just going to be 1x plus 12 equals 23. Okay, 6x minus 5x is 1x. Now, I bet you remember we don't need to write a 1 in front of that x, so I'm going to erase that. 1x is the same thing as x. Let's just write it like that. Well, we're almost done. All we need to do is get rid of that 12, and we have our x isolated. That's a plus 12, so let's cross the line and change it to a minus 12. So we've got x equals 23 minus 12 is going to be 11. Okay, let's look at this last problem here. And you might be groaning right now. And I would just ask you, if you were in my class, I'd say, why don't you like that problem? And you would say, I don't know. I don't know why I don't like the problem. I just don't like it. And I'd say, yes, you do. You know why you don't like this problem. You don't like this problem for the same reason that I don't like this problem. Nobody likes this problem because of the fractions. Nobody likes dealing with fractions. Nobody likes it. But I've got some great news. The great news is that this is an equation, all right? And if it is an equation, we can use some of the properties that we know. We can use the multiplicative the equality property of multiplication to solve this, all right? Which basically just means we just have to do the same thing on both sides. If I multiply the left by a number, I can multiply the right by the same number, and I don't change anything. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to demolish and destroy those fractions. I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by some special number. What is that special number? Well, whatever number I put out here to multiply by, I need to be able to multiply by all of my, or divide by all of my denominators, okay? So I'm looking for a number to put out in front, that I could divide by 3. So I could take that number divided by 3. I could take that number divided by 6. And I could also take that number and divide it by 4. Can you think of a number that you can divide it by 3, 6, and 4? Now there's lots of those numbers that will work, but hopefully you might have been thinking of the number 12, okay? Because I can take 12 divided by 3, 12 divided by 6, and 12 divided by 4. All right, now watch this. We're going to multiply everything by 12, both sides by 12. When you multiply a whole number by a fraction, you need to divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. So let's look at this. Take 12 divided by 3 and then times 2. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So this is just going to be an 8x. So now let's take 12 times 1/6. Divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Times 1 is 2. All right, let's look at the next one. 12 times 1/4. Divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. So this is just going to be 3x. And then we have to do this on the other side as well. So what's 12 times 8? That's just going to be 96. And that's our new equation. Wasn't that easy? Just find a number that you can divide by all of those denominators and then multiply it out and clear out those fractions. So let's simplify the left side now. So I've got an 8x and a minus 3x. So 8x minus 3x, that's going to be 5x plus 2 is equal to 96. Okay, so now subtract the 2 over, minus 2. And we're going to get 5x equals 94. One last step, divide the 5 over. Divide the 5. All we have left is an x equals 94 over 5. We can't reduce that. That's just going to be our answer. X equals 94 over 5. So certainly not easy, but I think we can do it because it's not really all that bad. All right, you've got this. Good luck.